stand on this side. There it is. Hello! Salutations and greetings. My name is Marge. I'm Heyoka Empath. I just like having these little talks, these little conversations on the way I feel about things. Today's a pretty good day. It's a chill day. Nothing stressful has happened. I'm happy to report yesterday was a pretty chill day. I got some rocks from a buddy and learned some stuff yesterday. My buddy Reg, she freaking used to do those rock shows, those gym shows. So he picks these up. He's like, you know what this is? I'm like, no, because I didn't know what it was. He said, it's dinosaur poop. Yeah. He said, it's dinosaur poop. Both of these are. He's like, you know how you can tell what they eat? I said, no. He said, the little round speckles in there, those are vegetables. Those are vegetables. And those square specks, like right there in the middle of the screen, there's a little square speck. There's square specks in there. He said that's meat. And he said it's called, let's see if I save the window. Sometimes I'll save a window. Copalite is what he said it was called. Hey, Tess. Oh, you got flooded? No bueno. Is that gonna, insurance gonna take care of that? Because sometimes when stuff like that happens, I just think that that's kind of universe giving you an upgrade too. It's still a hassle nonetheless, but that kind of sucks. Anyway, so, learned about that yesterday. Always learning more stuff, and I got another guy. He's cutting up one of the geodes. I got some geodes a couple weeks ago, and he's got a diamond blade. He's gonna saw that up for me. Good deal. Yeah, you're resilient, folks out there. So what else was I gonna talk about? Oh, I talked up. Oh, crap! I dumped my water on me. I called this talk PotLuck Dinner because it kind of goes with how things were and how things will be again, because things will go back. Time moves in cycles, and we just keep going back and doing the same thing over and over. And gosh darn it, maybe one day this incarnation will get it right, but we'll see. We can't push past all this egoic freaking power hungry freaking nonsense that seems to be driving the forces that be for century after century after century. Civilization fall after civilization fall after civilization fall. So I call it PotLuck Dinner. It made me think when I was a little girl and we lived in Morro Bay. So we moved up there a week after my 5th birthday. I turned 5, and then like I was in kindergarten, pre-K, and then we moved to Redding. And then started like kindergarten up there. Isn't that how it went down? Something like that, Ma? Anyway, so Mom, we'd go to church from time to time. And the churches would have potluck dinners, and we'd always bring mashed potatoes. Number one, because you never come home with leftovers. Because everybody likes mashed potatoes. Yeah. And then number 2, they're cheap and easy. It's real easy poor people food. So, and I get so excited. I love food. I love food for all kinds of reasons. For the conviviality and the camaraderie that is it comes with eating, It raises your vibration. Like you eat good food, wholesome food that comes from the area in which you live, your body will freaking vibrate, man. It's a great thing. But people are just too busy filling their bodies with preservatives and freaking junk and crap, and it disconnects you from Holy Spirit source, and that's where all the tuning is, the tunage is. So I was always at the front they'd like release people, they'd say, okay, go ahead and I would just run up to the front of that because I wanted to be able to try a little bit of everything, right? And I always I didn't take gobs of this and gobs of that. I like to sample things. I'm going to try this, I'm going to try that, I'm going to try this, I'm going to try that, and everybody brings something to the table. When everybody brings something to the table, there's enough for everyone. And that goes to show in this day and age, we're coming back to that, folks. We're coming back to our individual, our spark, our ideas. That is going to be our currency. Okay? Our currency, our electricity is going to be our currency. Like our money. It's changing. It's what people are going to be able to bring to the table. I got a lot of stuff to bring to the table. I feel pretty okay with what I have and I can bring to the table. I think there's a lot of people in the world right now. They're a little skittish. They're a little nervous because they don't bring a lot to the table because they're just like a gazillion of other people. They just think like everybody else, So they're not gonna, and the folks that just kind of go by the program and just go around doing what they're supposed to do and always done what they did because it's always been what they've done, all that stuff. It's just like a repeat song, and it's not even a good song. And people don't want to be around that. And I think the human spirit knows, like, oh God, I'm gonna be alone because I don't got no personality. No, that ain't true. There's plenty of us with personalities that don't have a whole lot of freaking contact with the outside world. And we're in my dad started this ballpark down in Atascadero. It's one of the only things that we have we have a lot of things in common, but one of the only like positive things we have is our love for our he loves dogs and I love dogs. But I don't remember him loving dogs when I was growing up. So. I don't remember him ever having dogs when I was growing up. It didn't happen until later. But so Mom and I were talking earlier about trees, and there's this real, because I'm looking at real estate real close. I know that the freaking bubble's gonna pop in the next year, but I that's one thing I always have done. I've always looked at real estate ever since I was a little girl. My grandma was a real estate agent. I could tell a lot about the trends of markets and people, people coming and going by real estate. So it's just a measuring tool I use. And there's this one property up almost by, what is it, Castilla? It's almost by the Colorado border. It's almost to Colorado. It's like right before Colorado. And it's like 107th. It's cheap. The only thing is, it's 2 stories, which I don't really care about that. Because I don't go upstairs. You can use it for storage or whatnot. Or somebody else could sleep up there. It don't matter to me. But it was cool. Mom's like, ooh, I like that place. I was like, Mom, look, there's no trees. I gotta have trees. I have got to have trees around. Like the neighbors have trees over here, so I go walk over, but then they have like dogs that are pinned behind this garage area where the trees are. So I don't want to just be disruptive to the dogs, But I was telling Mom today, I said, Mom, trees, they tell us they give us. They're just part of the synchronicities and the hints that universe gives us. Like Oregon, when I was in Oregon. Because I believe that trees, it's of my belief system that trees communicate of and between themselves. I believe that trees communicate in their root system. There's like tuning frequencies, So like, say this tree is sitting over this park bench, right? People are going to be like, yeah, Marge, whatever. No, really, hear me out. The tree's sitting over this park bench, and he's over here in a conversation with this couple, right? And let's say they're breaking up, and say one of them's treating the other one real bad. It's not going too well. They're just being mean about it. So that tree knows That tree knows, right? And then fast forward about 6 months, the person that was mean was sitting someplace else at a restaurant with somebody else, and it was like a first date, but they're bringing their best foot forward, their A game, now, and they were having dinner with somebody that was tuned in. You could tune in to nature around you, and nature will tell you about the vibrational frequency and the people that you are with. So if you're paying attention, this tree over here witnessed this jerk. Now this tree, who is related to that tree, is going to send caution to said individual that is in tune, if they're willing to listen. That, this is how this person acts. This is how this person does it. It always starts out good. Don't things always start out good? I've been thinking about relationships a lot lately. Like, what drives people to like people? Physical attraction. But why do people because if you were to put a picture of all the girls that I liked next to each other, that's a weird potluck dinner. Because they're just all, because I dated this, my first terrible relationship, she was a belly dancer. She was all into goddess and all that, all that stuff. So that's how I learned about that, but then it's just every time that I saw a girl that kind of looked like her, I was, oh, well, that didn't go well. So that's I'm not going to reinvent the wheel. And some people do. Some people had a relationship back when they were in junior high or something, Mom. It was their first love, and then it didn't work out. So every person that they try to go out with looks like that because they're just chasing that idea. You know it? Without even having any regard or any care about who the person is inside, they're just trying to create a life, sometimes without even letting the people know. Oh, so I look like someone that you used to date? Oh, I look like all the women that you used to date. Oh, okay. And then I bet you if you talk to them, I bet that person has a freaking timeline of how they act, because people act in freaking cycles. So I didn't want to date the same proverbial girl. So I was is Dita the belly dancer? Then it was fast forward years, because I go years and I'm not good at relationships. Are hard. And especially and then because I get the girls that are straight, that I'm straight. Well, no, first it always starts out with, I don't identify as anything, and let's not put labels on things. And then they don't want any descriptors, right? Then all of a sudden, because it's just and I even let them know, the last girl I liked, I'm yeah, I'm the guinea pig. They always want to try it, but it's not fun because women like to play fucking people. Well, not women. It's not gender specific. It's not gender specific. There are some people that like to play games, and women that like to play games. It's not fun for them with me because I don't fucking like to play those games, and I know what they are because I've seen it my whole life how women act like that. So I just most of the time relationships aren't even worth the freaking bother. They just aren't. I think a lot of times people get into them, they find someone they like, they let them, you get to do stuff naked with them, and then might as well just do this. But how many people out of that union become better versions of themselves? Are we seeing that? I'm not seeing that as much as no. I think a lot of people settled. A lot of people on this planet is settled. Now that everybody's all uncomfortable because it's oh, I can't imagine living like this for the rest of my life. It's so uncomfortable, blah, 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 blah. But they stay in it because it's easy. Because you're going to, that significant other of yours is always going to buy your clothes for you and do your laundry and whatever it is. What else? Oh, I was telling Mom today about something I was telling about somebody yesterday. I was sad because fall's coming up, and in Oregon there's a lot of spiders all over the place, and I love spider webs, and I am a firm believer. You go to my Snapcrap profile on Instagram, Snapnax. If you go to Snapnax on Instagram and scroll back to last fall, I have a handful of pictures of spider webs. And I was telling my homie yesterday, I said, yeah, man, they tell us stuff. See all those dots? And so I'm like, they're coders. They are the ultimate webmasters, okay? And I was like, see how they're, and they line, I swear these line up with constellations in the sky too. So, but I did see a spider back over here the other day. I didn't see that he was starting to make a web, and I haven't seen him since. But it was, I saw one, but I was just like, and I was explaining to Mom today, I said, Mom, I bet if you took like a 3D laser or something like that, what was that about? That, like, here's another one. Here's another one. I said, I bet if you took this and like got a record and put the divots where the dots are, I wonder if it would make a tune. I wonder if it would make a song. Nobody's done that, I don't think. My homie was like, that's a new one. I've never heard that before. And I was like, yeah, that's what I do, man. I come up with stuff. And it adds up. I would love to try that though. What would you do? What would it have to be the steps to actually have to go around to like create a vinyl record and make the notes in here? Wouldn't that be cool though, Ma? Oh, I have seen a couple of dragonflies. They used to like land on me and hang out with me and stuff like that, man. We have definitely truly been divinely gifted, Ma, in this life. God's given us a lot of gifts. It's like there might be periods in time where we're made to just be here. Just be here and kind of wait till you go to the next place, right? Right? So in the midst of being, that's what mostly life is. It's just being, waiting for the next thing. But amidst all this being that we've been gifted, a lot of good company from a lot of really cool, energetic beings, animals, people. It's pretty cool. I was going to do this talk outside tonight, or today. I even drove down to the park, and as soon as I was coming up the hill to go to the park, a big old drop goes on the windshield. I was like, dang it. Confounded. See, because I want to do more of these outside because it's September, man. Winter is just right. I can't believe it, Ma. Next month, we left Oregon a year ago. October 7th, 18. We escaped Oregon. No, God's just like, I'm like, Mom, like a hippie Poppins. We just go where God wants it, where we're supposed to go. And wherever I go, I just hope I can get people to think. I don't care if people, that's the thing, is like, don't agree with me. There's most people in life I don't agree with. Most people in life. It doesn't mean that we still can't be pals. See, people getting his ideas, that's like, oh, I can't even talk to you. And I know I got to be careful of this too, because I have a hard time, like, sometimes I'm like, I could never hang out and kick it with somebody that drives a Tesla, because people that don't have regard, that just want the latest and greatest, and it doesn't matter what the consequence of that is, and plus the muskrat, he's a freaking nasty freaking one of those, you don't get to harm people to do your bidding. And we're coming up on Halloween season, and I always struggle. Every year I struggle around because it's all about freaking worshiping freaking evil, wicked stuff. And, all that stuff that comes with it. And I know that there's good stuff that comes, there's the light side of it too, but you don't get to hurt people. I don't like fakers anyway. And that always, people want to dress up. You don't got to wait till Halloween. Show people who you think you want to be. That's what Halloween is. You're dipping into a different reality. What do you think? What do you think that all those in college, the freaking guy that was like wear a dress because he was the big football player and everybody thought it was funny? That was probably the most comfortable he was been in the most entire time he was in high school. I don't want to start getting into overcompensation and all that stuff, but anyway, all in all, today's a good day. Mom's happy. We're all together. We had some rice for lunch, made some rice-a-roni. Nice and light. Then we're going to have the last little peak of warm before the spring, before we're going to start getting down to 7. I like it here. I like it here. I got to keep saying it. And hopefully I'll just be able to keep saying it. It feels good. And the people are mostly nice. And if they're not, they're a lot better about faking it than other people. Oh, people in Nebraska, man, they're so fake and phony and stuff like that. Oh, yeah, I was going to talk about that. Because some stuff I get redundant about because it comes up every year. I didn't talk about it last year because they didn't really have football season. But I always thought it was really weird how much those Nebraskans loved Big Red. Big Red. Go Big Red. It very well could be Satan somewhere written, and it's so be declared that Big Red is Satan in Nebraska. And it's such a trip because I know people every year, they got their season tickets. There's however 30,000 seats in that stadium or whatever it is. And all these people leave productive things to do to go sit in a seat and watch this versus game that never ends because you have stats. So it just goes to the next time they meet again. And, we won more than you. And it's just all a bunch of bullshit. And they spend a bunch of money in a life source. It's all rituals, man. Are people getting it? Rituals, life force, energy. It's sucking your life force. It's diverting your attention for Big Red. Yeah, and that is a heavily driven Jesuit state. Creighton runs that state, town, whatever. Yeah, I remember when I worked there and freaking LG was coming. I'm like, it's all that they just changed the name. You never get better service, but you go from LG to LTE to 4G to 3G to 4G to 5G. It's all crap. They just keep changing the names and then putting more money into the infrastructure. It's a trip. But anyway, it don't matter. We're going to keep heading towards what people can bring to the table. And you're going to just notice, pay attention, look around. I see people all the time. I'm like, dude, in the zombie apocalypse, what can they bring to a table? No, they're going to be one of the ones in the first 3 days. Yeah. I had a life mentor that used to worked high in the government in Stratcom, and they used to center on freaking, they call them exercises. They're fucking paid vacations that we paid for, and then they get to do all this, mock made up stuff, and then fast forward a few years, this made up stuff is, these exercises are the reality of what's happening in the world anyway. And and she was like, yeah. 20 years ago, I remember her 15 years ago talking about that. Yeah, if the power grid goes down, they say that in 3 days that people will be eating each other. They'll be that desperate and freaking out. I think a lot of people just die just because people are spineless and just go crawl away and just be like, ah. I can't. It's too hard. I have to get my own water. It's all turning into Mad Max Beyond Thunder. All that stuff, all those movies that or some of us are like, okay, maybe this is where we're headed. Doesn't matter, because some of us have been preparing ourselves for a lot of situations for a very long time. And a lot of people just continued to do what they were told to do. And now they're scared. And so when they look around, they see people like me, and I'm not scared. They're like, what's wrong with you? Then they try to cause division. I'm like, no, we don't got to do that. I'm just not scared. Why don't you try to be unscared like me? But no, people want you to be like them. So the masses of asses want you to be like them. So all these people that are scared and healthy and unfit, they want you to be like them. They want you to be scared. So they're going to make you do things. Oh, you don't like wearing it? Nah, I'm going to make you do what I tell you to do. My freedom. I'm scared for oh, you're scared too. Good. Now we're both scared. It's no brainer, but I don't know. Hopefully maybe people are figuring it out. If not, story continues. But all I got for now. Hope you have a rad day. Peace. Want to watch Sheldon, Mom?